Yeah, the Christian music guys. Make some noise for the Christian music guys.
Well, today on the Christian Music Guys, we are joined once again by a legend in Christian music, Curtis Chapman. He's back for the third time on the show, and we are talking and celebrating the 30th anniversary of his classic holiday album, The Music of Christmas. Stephen's taking these songs back on the road for a Christmas tour. And that's not all. He just released a brand new version of the holiday favorite, Christmas is All in the Heart, with CeCe again.
Yeah.
And so let's welcome back to the show, Curtis Chapman. Stephen, thanks for chatting with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, brother. Good to be with you guys again. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah. So you just wrapped the Speechless tour. How did that go?
It was everything I would have hoped it would be and more. I was speechless. Yes.
Yeah.
No, it was so good. Everyone, the best way I know to say it is everybody that came and saw me said, that knows me, my wife and friends, they're like, man, you looked like you were 15 again up on stage. Like you were just having so much fun, and it kind of rejuvenated you as much as anyone, it was like, it just really felt like you were having such a great time doing this with a band and a string section and all of that. And I really did. It was so just very, very wonderful experience for me. And I felt like the people that came as well were feeling the same. So yeah, I love it. And it was sad when it was kind of came to an end. Thankfully, there are plans being made to continue the Speechless tour. There's more Speechless coming in the spring. But then just even, for this Christmas tour, I knew when we finished, most of the same crew is coming out with me for the Music of Christmas, including my string quartet, Levi, that was with me on Speechless, which is so cool to get to have a string section with me on this Christmas music. So yeah, it was Speechless was amazing. It was a great experience.
I was excited. Like we talked before, I got to go check out the show, and I was so like just nostalgia moment when you did the medley and you did Dancing with the Dinosaur. I was like, this is like the coolest. I was so dude, I was like, I love this song, and and then my daughter was with me. She was like, he didn't sing in living color. I'm like, honey, if we were here all night, it would take 10 hours for him to sing all his songs. So
oh man, well, tell your daughter I will sing that for her next time I come back to Florida, because I love singing that song. That's one of those that it's like, man, how can I get that one in the set? I did it, on some of the shows when it's just me or in a smaller setting. But that's one of those deep down that I love so much performing, but I just don't get the opportunity to do it very much. But Dance with the Dinosaur was a fun one to play, because I thought it was actually my drummer, the musical director, was talking to me about, we were making the set, and I knew I was doing all of the Speechless record, but he said, the one song, I have so many friends that know your music and know that I'm doing this tour with you, keep saying, man, tell me you guys are doing Dance with the Dinosaur. You gotta hear that one. And I'm like, really? And he said, yeah, I've had like 5 people ask me. And I said, well, we got to find a way to do it then. Let's put it in a medley and we'll do it. So that's how that happened, actually.
Yeah. And then another one, well, of course, again, you can't sing them all, but one of my favorites is The Mountain on that Heaven and the Real World. That song is so awesome. Man, it's a killer song. But we are here to talk about The Music of Christmas, such a classic Christmas album. I need to get the vinyl for that, by the way. But what made you want to hit the road for this 30th anniversary tour?
We've been talking about doing this for a few years. The idea of really bringing a lot of those songs. I've done those songs, many of them, Christmas is All in the Heart, Music of Christmas, This Baby. I mean, so many of those that have become almost, classics for me over the years whenever I've done Christmas tours that I do, in those tours. But that album, when I set out to make that album 30 years ago, or 31 or 2 years ago, I guess, when I started working on it, I really wanted to make, just pull out all the stops. Like, this has to be everything I love about Christmas music: choirs and orchestras and nostalgia and, Christmas carols and, children's choirs, boy choir, that sound of angelic voice, all those things. And, so I got to make that record, which I couldn't believe I got to make that record. And over the years, I've always thought, man, if I could do something that just even gets close to how, epic I feel like that record was for me on tour, it would be amazing. And so when we were talking about the Speechless tour and bringing together a string section and the band and all of that, which I haven't done anything like that really ever with the taking strings, violins and cellos and all that on the road. Um, and then with this tour, I thought, well, if we're going to do this one really right, we have to have a choir as well. And so we're actually using, a chorus and choirs and made up, in each of the cities that will join us for the concert as well. So I don't know. It's probably been a long time dream of mine. And to be at that point now, to be able to say, hey, let's go do it. Let's just do it. I'm really, really excited. And 30 years seemed like a good time. I've been talking about it for a few years, like, well, the 30th anniversary is coming up. Maybe that would be the year to kind of pull out all the stops and do this. So that's, it finally happened.
Yeah, let's talk about the album cover. I always wanted to know, was that real snow, or did you
Yeah.
all make that, or what's
No,
up
we
with
went
that?
to Steamboat. We went to Steamboat Springs, and took the pictures at a ranch. It was like a, kind of a horse ranch in Steamboat Springs. And I'm sitting on that split levels, or what they call it, split rail fence.
Hmm.
And then there's a picture on the back of it of my wife and me sitting on the back porch of the lodge, kind of on this ranch. And really crazy. About 3 years ago, 4 years ago, one of our Show Hope uh, supporters and donors was talking to me, and he said, hey, your Christmas album? He said, I just bought the ranch that you took those pictures on. I'm like, what? Like 25, 6, 7 years ago? And he said, yeah, I recognized that split rail fence as I drive up, and with snow. He's like, one day I was driving up, I went, wait a minute, this is where Stephen and Mary Beth, where they had their pictures made for that album cover. And so it's still there. The ranch is all still there. And that was, it was in, it was probably, I guess we took the pictures whenever we would have been doing it, sometime in spring of that, the year before the Christmas album came out, while there was still snow on the ground there.
You gonna recreate the album cover?
No, we're just using. I think we'll be using the original for that, the OG. We thought about it. We thought about trying to. I've still got the coat that I'm wearing on the cover, actually, which is unusual to still have, some of those clothes. But I do. I've got that coat. I kept it forever because it was such a great, cool coat, and so I still have it. So I thought, well, I've got that part at least.
Yeah, I have. We've been married, my wife and I, 21 years, and I still have. So we got married in December, and we went to Gatlinburg for our honeymoon, and it was so cold, and we weren't expecting it. So I went to a Target and bought a coat. I still have that coat. I still
Yeah.
wear it every winter, and it still fits.
Yeah. Hey, come on. There you go. Still fits. That's the main part.
Yeah. So I did some digging on the album, and I didn't realize that some of your BGVs, you had Bob Carlisle on there, and then your
Yeah.
family members. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad sang on there. Oh Holy Night. My brother sang on it with me. Yeah. Bob Carlisle sang some background vocals. And you know who else? So one of the things that really inspired me to make that record 30 years ago, the kind of record I wanted to make was one of my favorite, still to this day, but certainly in the early years of Mary Beth and me getting married and having our CD changer where you put 5 CDs in, it went from one to the next, before you stream music and all of that. And you could listen to, CDs back to back. was Amy Grant's first Christmas album. It's just the consummate Christmas record. It's got, carols. It's got fun new Christmas songs. It's got, just fun jingle bells kind of songs. And it's
Mm-hmm.
got choirs, and it's got beautiful string arrangements and these orchestral moments. And it's like everything you would want in a Christmas album. And it's got the nostalgia of her Tender Tennessee Christmas that I love.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my dream, to make that kind of a record. And there was this one voice that I remember on that record. The song was called Love Has Come. And those who know the song and know that record have listened to it like I have. There's a point on that song where this really cool rock and roll voice goes, "Don't you know that?" And then the chorus is "Love Has Come." And that voice was Bill Champlin of the band
Mm-hmm.
Chicago. Had that really cool rock and roll raspy
Yeah.
voice. And so I thought, could I get Bill Champlin to sing on my Christmas record? And I did. He came and sang on my Christmas record too. I think it was Bob Carlisle, Bill Champlin, and a guy named Tommy Thunderberg, who also sang on Amy Grant's record. The strings were all arranged by Ron Huff, who is not with us any longer. He arranged all the strings on Amy's record. I got him to do the strings on my record. And Brown Bannister produced Amy's Christmas record, and I got him to produce that Christmas record for me. So I got to bring a lot of those elements together to make that record. And it was very special, very special.
I forgot who we were talking to, but it's been a while, and we were talking about Bob, and he used to sing BGVs for a lot of artists out there.
Oh yeah,
back in the day.
yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
He's on that album? And
yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah. I had no idea.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So let's talk about the fresh version of Christmas is on the Heart, and I absolutely love it, and I love that CeCe's heard more on this version as well.
I know, yeah. Well, that's part of the crazy thing. The first time around, I wrote that song, just very, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of family, and that one, and just memories of my childhood, and then now being a dad, and as the song talks about, now I'm the one taking pictures of my kids in the wee hours of the morning, waking up on Christmas morning. Now I'm the one taking pictures of grandkids waking up on Christmas morning. So I'm like, I need to do another version of this song because it's still happening. It's just another generation, and I've always loved that song. And CeCe, of course, when I got her to sing on it the first time, our records were released at the same time. Our first albums, we came out at the very same time, BB and CeCe Winans and myself on Sparrow Records. So we kind of started our careers together. And of course, she's still, I think, probably the greatest singer living, maybe to ever live in my mind, in my ears, in my heart. And so the fact that I got her to sing on that first version was crazy to me. And I always thought, man, I had CeCe Winans on there, but I never really, because of the key and the way the song is, you never really got to hear her just sing by herself. She did these little step outs, and a lot of people never even really knew it was CeCe Winans. And so I continued through the years to stay close to her. We are managed now by the same management company. And so we were just talking about, man, if I'm going to do the Music of Christmas tour and celebrate 30 years, how cool would it be to revisit, Christmas is All in the Heart, and get CeCe to sing it and with me? Do you think she'd do that? And so they reached out to her, and she said, oh, of course, I would love to do that with Stephen. And so this time around, when I was rearranging it, I thought, I've got to find a way to get her to sing the bridge of this song, and we'll do a little modulation and change the key so it's in her range, fits her. And so figure that out. And yeah, I love that about this version, because you get to actually hear CeCe take over for just a little bit. And of course, the bad thing about CeCe, once she sings, it's kind of like, okay, I shouldn't sing anymore. Let's just let it be CeCe's song all the way through. But it was special. Well, I loved getting to do it.
You were at the Doves. You remember Torrin saying, "You've been CeCe'd." So
yeah, I've been CeCe'd now. That's it. Yeah, that's it. It's her song now forever. I'm like, I'm good with that. CeCe, you can have that song. It's all good with me.
Now, one of my favorites on that Christmas album is "Our God Is With Us." Can you tell us about that arrangement?
Yeah. Well, that one is another one that for me, the message of that song, um, has always been just that is the essence of Christmas. God has come, put on flesh and bone, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. Um, and so, I wrote that song sort of in connection with O Come, Emmanuel," kind of that longing cry of that song. And then God has come, Emmanuel has come, God with us. Um, and that was a time when I was reminded of this when I started, as I've been rehearsing it and singing it again. One of us is crying as a loved one is being led away in chains, and we're left all alone. I was doing a lot of work at that time with an organization called Prison Fellowship, and I was getting to know a lot of families and of inmates and people who were, physically imprisoned, and feeling the aloneness of that. There's something called Angel Tree, that Project Angel Tree that Prison Fellowship does, providing gifts for families, especially kids of incarcerated men and women,
Mm-hmm.
and just as a ministry to keep those families connected as best they can. And anyway, so I remember being, that was part of what the lyric was inspired by, and then also having walked through around that time the loss, some friends of ours who had lost a child, and the grieving of one of us is dying as our love is slowly lowered in the grave, and just all these places that we find ourselves so desperate for to know that God really is with us because we were so alone, we're so sad, we're so heartbroken. And so I began to sing that song again when we lost our daughter Maria, and because the truth of that song became exponentially more real to me and more profound. And it really, I would say, that first Christmas 17 years ago that we celebrated without our daughter with us, and we hung her stocking, on our mantle with tears, and just like it was almost unbearable, the
Mm.
pain and the sadness that we felt. And we feel that sadness every year, and we will this year. We'll hang her stocking again, and we'll feel that ache, and that this is not how it's supposed to be. But the truth of that message, that God is with us, that the story is not over yet, that the Savior has come to conquer death and the grave, all of that, what
Mm.
Christmas is, has become so much more real to me. And because I've been so much more desperate for it, for that truth, in my own journey, in my own life, my own family, that I think that's part of what will even make this tour so important to me, and probably one of the reasons I wanted to do it so much now is just that those kinds of truths have become even more real in my own life. And
Yeah.
so I feel like there's a depth that I get to share those with the audience, now even more than when I wrote and recorded that album in the first place.
Mm. That's good. Would you say that your song "This Baby" is your Dive Christmas song? like like
Probably
your
so. Yeah. Yeah.
big,
Fun.
if
Yeah.
you go
Yeah.
to a Christmas Stephen Curtis
Yeah.
Christmas
Yeah.
tour and he don't sing
Yeah.
"This Baby," I want my
Yeah.
money back.
I want my money. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Wait a minute. You can't do that to them. You can't do that to me. Yeah, for sure. And that one, same thing. I was thinking about that. I wrote that when I had my first babies, and all of a sudden the reality of just being around a baby as a kid growing up, I wasn't around babies much, but just the fascination of these
Yeah.
tiny little hands, and they're so fragile and they're so helpless and so needy. And to think the God of the universe became a baby. I mean, of flesh and blood. Like all of a sudden, all the Christmas story of the Word became flesh, God came, Mary, the angel shows up, and the shepherds, and glory to God in the highest, and it almost can become a fairy tale if you grew up hearing it and watching the nativity story, in your church, and seeing your little, setting up your little nativity, and everything so sweet and, cozy. And all of a sudden, when you have a baby of your own, you think, wait a minute, I'm going to put this baby in a feeding trough with hay,
Yeah.
for a bed. No, that ain't happening. It just all of a sudden makes so much of the Christmas story so much more real. And then to think about Jesus as the God of the universe. I love how Tim Keller would say it, that that God would make himself, you know, uh, fragile, and the infinite God would make himself finite and come and be a baby, a helpless baby that would need and depend on other people to take care of him, so that he could truly identify with us, and we could truly say we have a God who is with us, who knows what it's like to be human, and just all of that. So powerful. And I think this baby, my hope is I could capture some of that in that song, and it really be a fun song too, a fun song to play and fun song to sing.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we're going to do something a little fun. You sing these songs every year, and I'm sure you throw in a lot of classic Christmas songs on your Christmas tours, but I'm going to see how well you remember some of these Christmas songs, classic Christmas songs, not your own.
Okay.
Well, I have
Okay.
one of your own, but you should get it.
All right.
But this one's from Hark the Herald Angels Sing, and it
Okay.
goes, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, glory to the newborn.
King, peace on earth and mercy, mild, God and sinner reconciled.
There you
Come
go.
on.
We're just warming up now. This one you need to do a cover of. I don't know if you've ever done this one, but Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad.
Oh boy, you're gonna throw me Navidad. El año felicidad. I don't know. It's something like the
Prospero año
Prospero.
felicidad.
Yeah. El prospero a felicidad. Yes.
I might have someone else sing that
Tricky.
for you. No?
Yes.
Oh, come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye, oh, come ye.
To Bethlehem.
Yes.
Oh, come all ye faithful. Yes. Okay.
Yep. All right. Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop.
Oh boy, you're gonna get me on the rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party.
It's
Caroline.
something you put over you and your wife to kiss.
Oh, mistletoe. Christmas party, huh? But I don't remember how you get under the mistletoe.
Mistletoe hung where you can see.
Hung where you can see. Everybody
couple.
wants to stop. Every couple wants to stop. Everybody wants to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, you got me on that one.
This is your song, so you should know this one. It says, "No, it's not in the snow that may or may not fall."
Oh yeah. It's not in the gifts around the tree. It's in the love heaven gave the night the Savior came. And that same love can still be found wherever you are. Because Christmas is all in the, you tell me, Jacob. There you go. Good job. Good job.
All right. These, like I say, I got two modern ones. I don't know if you've ever heard this one. Santa Tell Me by Ariana Grande. She says, Santa, tell me if you're really there. Don't make me fall in love again if.
If he doesn't have hair. No, that's not it. That doesn't sound right.
That'd be a good one.
Because Ariana, she's not down with the bald headed thing, No, I don't know. You got me.
It says if he won't be here next year. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense.
And then this last one is All I Want for Christmas by Mariah Carey. I don't want a lot for Christmas. Ooh. There's just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree.
Man, my daughter-in-law Jillian would know this. That's her favorite Christmas. Oh, goodness. So it's all I want for Christmas.
All I want.
What's the phrase?
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There's just one thing I need.
For Christmas, there's just one more thing I need.
I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree.
The Christmas tree. I just
want you.
I just want you by
For
my
my
side
for my own.
for my own. Hey, I just want you for my own.
More
Uh,
than you
and
could.
maybe give me a new iPhone. Oh, that's back to me.
There we go.
So something like
Okay,
that.
I have an idea. When you do this tour, you need to do request and then just do that. Just say watermelon, watermelon,
Yeah,
just make
here's
up
the Stephen
lyrics.
Curtis. This it's Stephen Curtis version right here. Yeah.
Have
Oh
you ever
man,
done I forget. You have the Joy Christmas album. Did you do that song on Joy? All I Want for
I've never
Christmas?
done that one. No,
Oh, you
no.
should, because you need to add
Yeah,
that line
no.
in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Oh man,
funny.
pretty
Well,
good.
the torment is over, so you,
No
you
torment,
you
Jacob.
passed.
Always good to be with you, man.
You
Yeah,
passed.
thank you. A pass,
Well,
sort
you
of.
got the
I got a
Christmas
B
tour.
minus. Yeah.
You got the Christmas tour, and then next year you're doing some speeches stuff. What else is coming? And yeah, what else you got?
Well, no, so, that will be more speechless in the next year, which will be awesome. I'm so glad that tour is not over. We didn't know. We did the 12, shows, but it was so well received. People were so excited, and a lot of people were like, "Wait a minute, you didn't come to West Coast, or you didn't come to, to the north, or to Texas, or there's a lot of places we didn't get to." So we'll continue that, Lord willing, next year. And there is some talk of maybe music of Christmas again next Christmas, because we'll only get to a dozen
Mm-hmm.
cities this year with that. So we'll see how that shakes out. But and there will probably be some new music next year.
Yay!
Some little things I'm working on here and there, along the way. So just really excited about the Speechless tour continuing, because that was again such a special thing, and I'm glad I'm going to get to do more of that. And of course, with Mary Beth and me releasing the book, that we've written, still here, be coming out in March, and I'm sure there'll be some music and some things that we'll do around that as well. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I don't know if anyone ever asked you, but I think it'd be incredible for you and Michael to do the United tour again.
Oh wow, yeah. We have not. I mean, we did around COVID. We ended up doing a drive-in theater tour. With Michael and me
Yeah,
and Mac Powell. But that'd be cool.
yeah,
I love any chance I get to do something with my buddy Michael
yeah,
Dubb. I'd love it.
yeah.
So that would be fun.
Well, to wrap up, I'd like to see if you'd be willing to share something that God's been doing in your life recently that would help build our viewers and our listeners' faith.
Yeah. Um, well, I think most recently we have just walking through as a family some really good a good season, but also there's always the good and the hard, and the reminders of God's uh, his the way he shows up in our lives, um, through relationships, and even in the hardest times. I mean, we're in a season now. My wife's parents and my parents are both still alive, but they are getting older, and much older, and her parents especially are in pretty poor health. And we're walking through that season with them. And there are those times that you just think, oh man, we're going to get through this season of little kids, and then they're going to get in school, and man, now we're going to be smooth sailing, or empty nest now. And now, man, we're going to be kind of, things are going to get much easier. And then you realize now we're in a season of her parents trying to figure out, how do we really care for them and love them, and they can get stubborn, and they don't want the help that we feel like is right for them, and all the stuff that you go through. And then you find yourself wrestling with that and thinking, God, the truth of the matter is, every season of life, there's going to be hard things to process and deal with, no matter what season you're at. And you think, boy, if I can just get through this, get to that place, and you get to that place and realize there's still brokenness and things that are just not as they should be. And yet that is where God shows up. He shows up in the brokenness, in the hard places, and reveals himself to us for just today, the grace that we need for this moment, for this day. My grace is sufficient, is enough. And as we, hold on to that, as we trust him for that, we see his faithfulness. That's why Mary Beth and I finally decided to share our journey in this book, not because we figured it out, not that we can write a book on here's how to have a successful 41-year marriage. It's mainly a book of here is what not to do, and here's where to trust God when you do what you should not do, and God is still faithful even in those places. Or here's when you don't know and don't have a clue how you're going to survive this, or how to take the next step. But guess what? God shows up in that, and he is faithful in that season of life. And if you continue on this journey, you get to those places where you get to look back and go, wow, look at what God has done. Look how faithful he has been. He really is with us. And then you turn around and go, all right, let's take the next step forward, because wherever that's going to be, we can trust and know that God is there as well. And he's going to be faithful. And he's going to be good wherever this journey takes us.
That's good, Stephen. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. Music of Christmas 30th anniversary tour. Get your tickets now. You can go see Stephen sing All I Want for Christmas Is You, Santa Baby.
Yes, you can. That's right. All the classics.
Hippopotamus for Christmas, all of them.
I want a hippopotamus. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got it.
They're the Christian music guys. Yeah, the Christian music guys.